everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome our second speaker. Our second speaker is Miss Riyyah. Miss Riyyah Wamweze. She'll be taking us on skill acquisition. Miss Riyyah, please, you have the floor. Welcome. Miss Riyyah.
Greetings, everyone. All protocol duly observed. My name is Riyyah Wamweze, and I'm glad and honored to speak before you all today. And honestly, this is my very first time of having this beautiful gathering with you all. And I'm really, really privileged to have this wonderful opportunity. So we're going to be discussing about skill acquisition and business development. So first, I would like to do a little intro about myself because I know most of you don't really know me, and I don't know you guys either. So, growing up, I was born and raised in the city of Aba. And it's a city that is well known for business, hard work, daily hustle, determination, and the mindset to succeed. And I also attended a high school where we were really quite exposed to competitions and being given the opportunity to learn and develop ourselves. So I always found myself in the insertion of wanting to learn and develop skills. From a very young age, I already started, desiring to do so many things, even when I wasn't even of age to do them. So while I got of age to do so many things, I was introduced into learning skills and building myself. With the support of my parents, I was able to learn so many skills within a short time. You see, learning skills and having multiple skills will never stop you from achieving your dreams or becoming who you want to be. In fact, skills can become helping hands that support your future, and they become pathways that lead you to your goals. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. Now, in a world where opportunities are constantly evolving, success in business is no longer, determined solely by what we know, by the skills but it's by the skills we intentionally choose to develop. Because every great business and every successful entrepreneur and every thriving organization is built on the foundation of valuable skills and the use of wise decisions. And why do I say that? We all know that, they say that opportunities may come and go, but skills remain a long time and a long life assets. And the skills we choose to develop today will determine the business we build and the future we create for tomorrow. Okay, so now there is no number of skills that is enough. We have to try to learn as much as we can because knowledge never ends. The more you learn, the more you know, the more opportunities you create for yourself. Let's take our country, Nigeria, for example. Our country is filled of so many people who don't have jobs, right? But there are so many number of skills each individual, precisely the youth, can just pick out and learn and then develop themselves. I want to say this, but it's really I don't know, but do you realize that having a skill makes you valuable? Many people do not realize the joy and, the opportunity that learning a skill can put you out there. Because, there are, whether you're in secondary school, in the university, employed or unemployed, having skills can open doors in ways you never expected. Now, skills are a source of income. Many people have used their skills to feed themselves and their families. Many students have used skills to reduce the financial burden on their parents and also help themselves in many ways. And okay, but I just want to relate to the fact that we as individuals, just think about yourself and think about what you have to offer to someone. Imagine in the society as our country is in Nigeria right now, if you do not have something to offer, how do you think you can survive? The future belongs to those who prepare for it today, and that's one of my favorite quotes. And preparation is not just only about formal education. Preparation is also about acquiring knowledge, developing skills, building experiences, and creating value. And knowledge gives you power, but skills give you opportunities. Now, how do we do this? Because every skill you learn today is a seed. You may not see the results immediately, because many people would say, well, I learned how to do this, I learned how to do that, but I haven't opened my business, right? That is why you may not really see the outcome of that skill you learned right now. But with time, determination, consistency, and hard work, that seed can grow into a source of income, a business career, and even a life-changing opportunity. Now, let's talk about business development. Talking about skills without talking about business development is incomplete, because skill acquisition and business development go hand in hand. Because a skill is valuable, but when you learn how to package that skill, market it, manage it, and grow it, it becomes a business. Now, many of the successful businesses that we see today with a simple skill, someone learned how to sew, someone learned how to bake, learn how to style hair, design graphics, repair phones, create digital services, make jewelries, or provide a service. What started as a skill eventually became a thriving business. And the truth is that learning a skill is the only first step. The next step is learning how to turn that skill into the value for other people. And when we find value in what we do, they are willing to pay for it. And one thing I've really learned is that success in business does not occur like overnight, because every successful business you admire today started somewhere. It started with someone who was willing to learn, start small, improve consistently, and remain committed to growth actually. So it's not really compulsory that we start at first in a big way. Do not be afraid to start small, because great businesses often begin with small ideas and consistent effort. Because what matters is your determination. We need to tell ourselves constantly that we can do anything we think we cannot do. And it really sounds very simple, but tell yourself, I can do what I think I cannot do. Because sometimes we think about ourselves like we don't really, I can do it. I mean, you see this and that. I don't think I can be. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can be rich. I mean, I have to manage. But do we realize that you are talking down on yourself? Tell yourself that I can do what I think I cannot do. It might sound really simple, like it's just a statement, it's just a word, it's just a sentence or whatever. But tell yourself that, it's all about we deciding ourselves to become who we want to be, right? That is why it is so important, when people say, don't dream too big, you have to dream big, actually. But now continue now. We see that it's all about finding ways to improve what you do, reach out more to people, provide better services, and create opportunities for yourself and others. So one thing is certain, that we can't just decide to remain stuck where we are and expect ourselves to grow. How can we improve ourselves? How can we grow? Like you are doing, just a life example. For example, you are making hair. It's something you know how to do, and you are in a place where like you do not have so many customers, and you tell yourself, it's luck. I don't have luck. Like, I'm not lucky. I mean, but have you reached out? Have you tried to move ahead? Have you tried to move forward and see that these things, like this particular hair you are making, the environment, you aren't able to reach out to the expected audience you need to reach out to? Or you are in a place where you're making dress and you're not getting many customers, and you tell yourself, it's luck, I'm not lucky, I'm not blessed. Do you realize what you're telling yourself? Have you tried to reach out to people, or have you tried to stay in an environment where the skill you are doing is of high demand, and you sometimes when we are doing something, we don't really try to think. When those things are not moving well, we don't ask ourselves, what is it I need to work on? Right? These are certain things we need to put into consideration, because as a young person and as young people, we should not only think about acquiring skills, we should think about how the skills can create jobs, solve problems, and contribute to society. Because one customer can become 10 customers. One small opportunity can become a major breakthrough because one skill can become a company. Yes, one idea can become a legacy. Never underestimate the power of what you know. Because success is not only about having all the resources before you start. It's about using the resources you have and growing from there. Because someone who has, do you know why someone who has 10 million naira and someone who has 1 million naira, the person who started with 1 million naira could actually make it better than the person who started with 10 million naira? Can you dispute me? Let me tell you why. The person who started with 10 million naira probably just had the money. But the person who started with just 1 million naira had the idea and was determined and had the knowledge. But this person probably has the money to buy the biggest store, has the money to stock up the store, has the money to buy the biggest machines and everything, but do not have the idea. They lack the idea. They lack the knowledge, right? But this person who started with 1 million naira has the knowledge, has the idea. And with time, you see the person going higher. The person with 1 million naira, 10 million naira has already started paying workers. Maybe I'm paying you 100,000 naira, I'm paying you 200,000 naira, just work for me. With no idea. Do you see the difference? So if you continue learning, continue improving, and continue creating value, your skill can become more than a hobby. It can be a profession of business, or source of employment for others, and a true to making lasting impact. Now, I'm not just ending here, but I have 7 things to leave you with today. One thing that guided my journey and I believe can help you on yours, because I'm not done learning. Every single day we are learning. Never stop learning. I need you to put the 7 important things into consideration and into your mind. Now, one is never stop learning, because the day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Knowledge is one of the greatest investments you can make in yourself. Acquire at least one valuable skill. Do not depend solely on certificates. Learn something practical that can create value for you and others. Start small, but start when many people, because let me tell you something. It's not really compulsory for you to start in a large way for you to actually make it. But your consistency and determination, when you decide that you are gonna do this and you see yourself accomplishing that's what matters. Many people have great ideas, but which we talked about earlier, but they started with humble beginnings. And of course, we know so many persons who started very small, and today they are really at where they want to be. Every successful person started somewhere. Be consistent, because talent may open a door, but consistency keeps it open, right? Keep improving, keep practicing, keep showing up. Turn your skills into a solution. People pay for value. The more problems you solve, your skills can become something which is well known, right? And it can create more opportunities for you. Now you build reputation, you build relationships and maintain reputation. And you know what repetition is? Your character and attitude and how you treat people can open doors that money cannot buy. Let your work and your conduct speak well for you, because one thing about life is that the way we communicate with people, we all need people. You cannot say to yourself, I don't need anybody to make it. Or you cannot tell yourself, we all need people to grow, actually. So the way you relate to people or how you respond to people, you never know, probably the way you communicate to people can close doors for you. But if you communicate positively and maintain a proper, relationship, because communication has a great impact in everybody's life. Because I can see you today, and then the way I communicated with you actually wasn't positive, and then we wouldn't have the opportunity to have tomorrow discussion. But if we have a proper conversation and have a nice communication today, it could lead to tomorrow, and tomorrow you might be able to be of help to me. Do you understand? So it is very, very important. Now, it is important that we tell ourselves that we have the ability to learn, we have the ability to grow, and we have the ability to succeed. And we need to tell this to ourselves, not just saying it. Tell yourself, I have the ability. I have the ability to offer something very important to someone. I have the ability to learn. I have the ability to grow. I have the ability to succeed. We should never allow circumstances we are in, to pull us down or to bring us down or to get attached to ourselves growing up, right? So now I just wanna say that we are in a society where there is so much opportunity for us to learn, because many people who hasn't been been in universities, and you're out of high school and you're probably just roaming around, just haven't settled. I mean, why don't you just take your time and settle with something? Because one thing is really, really important. The importance of learning skills can never be overemphasized. Every profession depends on the products and services created through various skills, because skills are available in society, and as I said, the importance can never be overemphasized. Now, just a little bit details of how I went through in my life. So right now, I have many skills, and I'm going to mention my skills, the skills I have. So back in high school, I was into debate competitions. I had gone through so many speaking sections, and back then it was really like students competition. But during high school, actually, I got into a program where we usually speak on the Rema FM. I really understood that at that point, as a child, I really did not understand that this particular thing I was doing was a skill that would lead me to so many things in life, And, revisiting those memories back after years brings me back to feeling that cannot be fully explained. And after high school, I had been able to learn how to sew. And not just learning how to sew, I also went to learn how to do makeup artistry. Not just learning how to do makeup artistry. Right now, I have my skills. I can mention, okay, I know how to sew. I know how to do bead making. I know how to make hair. I know how to do resin art. I know how to, there are so many. I know how to make bags. I know how, if I'm very creative. There is no skill you can call right now. I know how to make house cleaning products. These things were not developed. In fact, as I am right now, I'm also open to learn any skill that comes my way. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that skills, honestly, my skills has really, really helped me. My skills has really, really taken me to so many places I never thought of going to. Because many times I'm broke and I'm like, services come up to offer and I'm there. I can do it. You also do that? Of course I can. And those things are given to me and I'm paid for it. And you see me getting, having the money to solve a particular problem that arises. So these things, as I am right now, I'm open to learn another skill that comes up my way, because I don't think that I can stop learning. Every single day I think about, how do I learn another skill? How do I develop myself in another way? Like, how do I get to know something I don't know how to do? And when you talk about the educational part, I have written many novels, and right now I'm also working on some books I'm writing. I write books, and I'm always inspired when it comes to public speaking. That's been my dream, to be a public speaker. And not just that, I also know how to do catering. I know how to bake. And how did I learn how to bake? Let me just tell you a short story. My mom and my auntie is into baking and catering. So each time I come around, I use my eyes to observe, because sometimes we cannot just say, okay, we don't have time to learn skills. Most of us are very busy. But sometimes observation can actually put us through learning something. I don't know if you guys know this hair stuff that women do. When I went to learn making of beads, just through observation, I learned how to do that one. I actually paid to learn beads and jewelries, but through observing her, I learned how to do it. So when I came back, I was like, Mom, I know how to do this. She was like, I thought you were learning bead. How did you learn how to do fascinator? I saw that I observed her doing it. She was like, okay, I will try. Then look at me buying products and trying to do those things, and I actually got it. My auntie, who knows how to do, was like, she was really impressed, and she was like, it's just observation for how many months I was able to learn it. But I observed, and also, I also try to improve those things by myself. So there are so many things that so many ways we can actually put ourselves into learning things, and not just going to a particular place and sitting there and just learning. We can even use our phones. I learned resin arts. I became a resin artist by using my phone on the media, because at that time it was very popular. Resin artist was something that was going on the media. Everybody, resin art, how to make mold and how to. I used my phone to learn how to do resin art, and guess what? I taught over 100 students on the internet how to do resin art, and I charged each of them 1,000 naira. True resin artist, to becoming a resin artist. So it's really, really, we cannot just say, oh well, I don't have the time. You can start anywhere, anytime, any day with your phone. You can turn your smartphones into becoming something you can use to learn multiple skills, and nothing can stop you from achieving your dreams. So I just want to say, I don't know if I'm already out of time, but I just want us to believe in ourselves. Never underestimate what you can do. Never tell yourself you cannot do this, you cannot do that. And I desire that, never underestimate that what one skill can do in your life. One skill can support your education, one skill can support your family, one skill can support a business, one skill can change your future. Remember this, that the more you learn, the more you earn, the more value you create, and the more opportunities come your way. But because a skill is not just something you learn, it's an investment into yourself. The more you invest in yourself, the greater the opportunities you create for your future. And success is where preparation and opportunities meet. So continue learning, continue growing, continue creating value. And I desire that everyone listening to me today leaves here with a renewed determination to invest in themselves, develop their abilities, and acquire valuable skills, and turn our skills into opportunities and growth and success. And I also want to say this, when I was learning how to sew, because I want to include, because there's a program going on E.Y.I right now about makeup artistry. Now I want to tell you how my dream of becoming a makeup artist, in fact, how I learned makeup artistry first time. That was when I was learning how to sew here in my state. I saw a flyer on the media saying that they were doing it was back when they were doing political election, that Engineer E.Y.I was having a program, and it was a 2 weeks training. I left the sewing I was doing, I took an excuse for 2 weeks. I went to grab it because it was not going to last. Now, while I went to do it, I realized that, I can actually learn how to do makeup professionally. After that, after 2 weeks, I came back, completed my sewing program, went to a makeup studio, and paid completely to become a professional makeup artist. So, right now, E.Y.I is hosting, the organization is hosting a program, a skill acquisition program, and I really want anyone to tell a friend that this program is something that is going to impact our life. So we need to put on that determination to become, any particular opportunity, because as you see me right now, I am open to any opportunity that comes my way to improve my life. That is me. I am here and there because I want to improve my life. It doesn't matter how many things I'm into, but I want to improve my life. And that's the mindset we need to have, right? So I want to conclude here telling you, everybody, that we have the ability. Tell yourself that you have the ability to grow. You have the ability to succeed. Attach your name to it. Tell yourself, I have something valuable to offer. Just feel it. My name is Riyyah, so I'm going to say now, I'm going to tell myself, Riyyah has something valuable to offer. and I have the ability to grow. I have the ability to succeed. I have the ability to develop myself. I have the ability to acquire skills, create values, and build a future that I can be proud of. Never allow your background or your circumstances or your parents' present situation define your future. Attach your name to it and tell yourself that you can be able to do whatever you want to do, no matter what comes your way. And I'm truly grateful for this opportunity to speak with you all tonight. And I really look forward to more opportunities to speak with you all. And I hand it over straight to the moderator. Thank you.